Hi everyone, welcome back to my series Agile Development 101. In our last episode, we did a simple wireframe mockup. We actually did 7 different wireframe mockups, and and so now I'm going to start. What I'm going to do in this video is some visual stubbing. It's not an agile concept. This is just basic development sequencing. But first, I'm going to update my task list on my product backlog item. So what I've done is I've created a wireframe mockup, and I didn't have that on my stuff to do, so I should add it, right? Create wireframe mockup. And what I'm going to do today, or on this video, is to create visual stub. Okay. So I've done this one, and then right now we're going to do this one. When I say visual stub, I mean, so I have my mockup here that I need to apply to this screen. And what I'm going to do is there won't be any data. I will just like stick in like a dummy shipment just so I can adjust the styling, and I will see how it comes out. If I don't have a dummy shipment in there, then I don't know the effect of my styling code. So it's just kind of like it's like a sample. Well, it's a stub, okay? Because what happens with a stub in programming is you make something which is kind of like non-functional, but at least it's there, and later you come back and you replace it with the real thing. It's called stubbing. So this video, I don't know how long it's going to take because I didn't prepare. I wanted you to see the whole thought process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the code file which describes how to display this quote list item. So I have a quote list item. Okay, and this, it says how to display the various values inside here. And what I'm going to do is stick I'm going to find the right place to stick my stub. So this is HTML code. Maybe you're familiar with this, maybe not. But even if you're not, it should be fairly simple to understand. So what I've done is I've inserted an element called panel, and now I'm going to press save. And if you look down here, the app should it should rebuild. Why isn't it rebuilding? Ah, there we go. So what it's done is it's restarted the server, and it will rebuild this and reload. So look, now I have a below every single quote list item, I have this like this thing. It's a div. It's like it's an element in HTML with the class panel, and panel has a lot of properties like float, what happens when you hover over it, and the width, and so on. But I need that to look a little bit more like my mockup. So I've got my stub, and with no real content, and then I'm gonna do some styling to try to get it to look more like this. Okay, so I'm gonna give it another class called shipment list item. And then I'm gonna create a styling file. Okay. Shipment list item.css. So the SCSS file holds styling information. Import. So I need to import all my variables, my styling variables. So style globals. Okay, so now I can use any kind of variables I have in this file. And then what's cool about the updates to the styling is they happen almost instantaneously. So I could say, what is my class called? Shipment list item. I can give it a width 50%. And as soon as I press save, so now it's half the width. Okay. Yeah. So what do I want to do? I want to have some indentation, and I want it to stick onto the code itself. So there's a couple of ways to do this. They might be a little bit of a hack. I'm not the most experienced CSS expert. I don't know everything, and I don't know the best way to do things. So we're gonna I'm gonna make it 95%, and no, what do I need to do? I think there's a better way of doing this. So let's say padding left 15 pixels. Okay, that didn't do anything. So I can use the development tools in Chrome or any browser to figure out what's the effect of my that's not, okay, it's inside the border, so margin left. I get confused with these two sometimes. Yeah, so margin left, now I have my little gap that I wanted. And then I have padding 7 on top. It's okay, but actually, so there's a margin of 7 above it, and I want to get rid of that, so I can put a -7 margin on top. And I'm sure this is not a good way to do this. Okay. Right, so now it's there. That's a bit closer to what I was looking for. And, but this brings up a good point about Agile. So I mentioned that I'm not an expert on CSS, but CSS is an essential skill to build this product. Now, commonly a common complaint of development team members is that I don't know how to do this. And so if you're a scrum master on a development team and they're coming to you and saying that, the appropriate response is to say, well, you should learn how to do it. Because that's probably the most cost-effective way to solve the problem, and it will also serve you long-term. And none of the skills in development are so difficult that you can't learn them, right? If I can learn JavaScript or React, then I can learn CSS. It's just a matter of being motivated to do so. And teams are supposed to be self-managing and self-sufficient. So if there's among all the members, if there's a lack of a certain skill, the team should get together and figure out how they're going to address that. Maybe one person learns it, or 2 people learn it, or maybe they all learn it together. But that's the ideal outcome for a team like this. They've been invested in at a fixed amount. The members have a certain cost, and they're expected to produce the product to a certain quality level, which may mean increasing their skill set. Okay, so I have it styled a little bit the way I want it, but I want some content in here so it'll expand and it'll look a little bit more like like it's supposed to. I'm not sure what all the content will be, so I'm also going to stub the content. So first we'll say shipment and see what happens. It should write shipment inside all of these things. Once it restarts and then refreshes the client. So depending on how large your application is, it may take longer to rebuild this. I think it's one of the downsides of this particular development environment. I also think that it's much slower because I'm recording a video. Normally it's more snappy than this. Okay, so there's the shipment. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, so there. So I have a stub. So I'm going to go and update my task list. Oh, task list is here. Visual stub. And it looks like I didn't need a whole lot of styling, but I've done it. So this one took less than I expected. But these two were things that I didn't plan on in the beginning. And that's typical of a new Scrum team, is that they won't necessarily know every step involved in completing a product backlog item. But as they gain experience, they're going to be more likely to identify all the tasks up front, and they're going to be better at estimating because they have a better idea of how long this will take, how long this will take, and how long this will take. Okay, so that's stubbing and styling. I think that's a long enough video for now. In the next video, I'm going to continue down my list of items to complete this product backlog item. Thanks for watching.